clocking a 201.610. They're getting to grips with Oulton Park International 2022, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
There's Megasaurus 55, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The outlap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Oulton Park International 2022.
Sunoiler's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 201.610. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
In these sessions, they're not just pushing the car's limits, but their own too. Testing their mettle, seeing how far they can go before the big dance.
Exactly. It's a mental game as much as a physical one. Balancing aggression with precision, daring with data. It's an art and a science.
You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a Barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
Look at Megasaurus 55 go. They're really giving it some jandle now. The first flyer is always a bit of a reconnaissance mission, a mix of caution and raw pace.
You bet, Rob. They're mapping out the track, feeling out the grip levels, and getting a sense of how the car is performing today. It's a crucial lap for building confidence.
Mr. Bang is on the outlap, not just warming up the tires but also warming up their instincts, getting that racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Megasaurus 55 is in Druid's corner. Sunoiler posted a 202.682 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Mr. Bang is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Oulton Park, International 2022.
There's no mucking around for Megasaurus 55 a Euro, straight down to business on this first flyer. They'll be keen to see what times they can clock in early on.
Yeah, and it's not just about speed. It's about rhythm, finding that flow around Oulton Park, International 2022. Getting into that groove early can set the pace for the whole session.
There's the first flying lap for Sunoiler, hitting 201.122. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Oi, these practices aren't just a walkabout in the park. It's here that races are often won or lost.
Absolutely. Back home in North Carolina, we emphasize the setup. A few tweaks during practice can lead to major gains on race day.
Let's talk rubber. Tire pressures ain't just about pumping them up and hitting the road. It's like a fine art.
Couldn't have said it better. Tire pressures can dramatically impact the contact patch, the actual bit of tire touching the tarmac. Too high and you lose temperature and grip, too low, and you risk overheating, uneven wear, or even a blowout. Each tire will have its own sweet spot where they grip best.
Mr. Bang is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The out lap is like the opening chapter of the book in Europe, sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Oulton Park, International 2022.
And off goes Smells Like We, easing into the rhythm of Oulton Park, International 2022. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the sensors, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
Look at Joe Ergu taking it nice and easy, a smart move. Like a chess player contemplating the opening move, they're planning several steps ahead.
Spot on. They're mentally mapping each corner, each straight. It's not just about the car, it's about strategy and foresight.
With just 1,267 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Mr. Bang is getting to grips with the radical state Route 3 in this practice session. Sunoiler has a best lap time of 2:01.122. Joe Hughes on the outlap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine. First impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
Now, here's a term some might not be familiar with: roll bar stiffness. Sounds technical, doesn't it?
It does, but in essence, it's about how the car reacts to lateral forces, especially during cornering. Adjusting the roll bar can change how the car behaves mid-corner. A softer setting can be more forgiving, but a stiffer one might give the driver a quicker response, albeit with less margin for error.
Sunoiler posted 2:05.991 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Eddie G's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 3:13.798. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Mr. Bang's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:48.302. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Sunoiler crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking at 2:06.377. They're getting to grips with Oulton Park, International 2022, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
There's the first flying lap from Mr. Bang, hitting 1:48.302. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
With just 1,261 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Alright, Eddie G has put down a 159.931. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that radical state Route 3.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Mate, sometimes I reckon the pit wall looks like they're controlling a spaceship with all those dials and knobs.
You're not wrong. Each of those adjustments, from brake bias to differential settings, has a profound effect on car behavior. It's like tuning a guitar, but instead of strings, you're tweaking mechanical symphonies to get the car singing just right on the track.
These practices, mate, they're like a kangaroo finding its best hop. Once you've got it, you're unstoppable.
Couldn't have put it better. Finding the perfect launch is all about repetition and adjustments.
Sunoiler posted a 220.871 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Smells Like We's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 1:51.384. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Joe Erg is not hanging about, straight into the thick of it on this first flying lap. They're getting a real taste of the Lotus Type 25's capabilities.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the limits early on. You'll see them experimenting with braking points and turn-in speeds, all while keeping an eye on those tire temps.
Sunoiler has a best lap time of 2:01.122. Smells Like We crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 147.293. They're getting to grips with Oulton Park, International 2022, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Eddie G's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:45.297. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Mate, these drivers aren't just burning rubber for the fun of it. They're chasing the ghost, that perfect lap that's always just out of reach.
Absolutely. Back in my racing days, I used to call it chasing the dragon. It's that feeling when you know there's still a little more in the tank, a fraction of a second to be found.
Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
Eddie G has a best lap time of 1:42.906. With just 1,254 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Mr. Bang posted a 1:49.176 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? It's time to separate the contenders from the pretenders here at Oulton Park, International 2022, as the drivers reverend up their engines and put their skills to the test in the qualifying session. A mesmerizing display from Megasaurus 55 in this qualifying session. They have left everyone in awe with their speed and precision. Currently leading the pack, they are setting the standard and sending a clear message to their competitors. What a performance from Sunnoiler. They currently occupy 4th on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favorable starting spot?
Absolutely, Rob. Sunnoiler has shown great potential to secure 4th. It's now a matter of channeling that momentum into a strong performance during the race.
Jack M team has positioned themselves well in 3rd during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start.
I completely agree, Rob. Jack M team has positioned themselves impressively in 3rd. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
What an impressive performance from Megasaurus 55. They are currently leading the pack in this quad. Megasaurus 55 has completed their outlap. It's an impressive showing by Mr. Bang, currently in fourth. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher?
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Mr. Bang has positioned themselves impressively in fourth. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
Mr. Bang has completed their outlap. Currently in third, Eddie G has displayed promise. Eddie G has completed their outlap. Smells Like We has secured a risk. Smells Like We has completed their outlap. And there goes Sunoiler, currently in position 5. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. Sunoiler has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Mr. Bang has just completed a lap in 1:37.420. Let's see if they can improve on that time further. A solid qualifying performance by Jack M team, positioning them in 7th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. Jack M team has completed their outlap. Incredible drive by Joe Yu so far, earning him 7th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up?
You're absolutely right, Rob. Jorg Yu's current position of 7th reflects their strong qualifying performance. Now, they'll need to strategize and capitalize on this starting position.
Joe Yu has completed their outlap. A solid performance from Mr. Bang as they currently hold position 3. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra. It's a stellar performance from Mr. Bang, clinching 3rd.
They're in a great spot, Rob, but in qualifying, complacency can be your worst enemy. They need to keep pushing the limits while staying cool under pressure. Every fraction of a second counts. I am sure they can find a little extra in there.
Smells Like We has put in a great effort and currently holds second. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
Absolutely, Rob. Smells Like We has put in a remarkable effort to secure second. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
Impressive work from Joe Yu, who has claimed 6th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
Spot-on analysis, Rob. Jorg Yu has positioned themselves well in 6th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
It's an impressive showing by Mr. Bang, currently in 4th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher?
Great analysis, Rob. Mr. Bang has shown excellent pace to secure 4th. Now, the focus shifts to whether they can use their track position to their advantage in the race.
Mr. Bang's really showing what they're made of, landing in 4th during this nail-biting session.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about precision and nerve in qualifying. Every millisecond can make a difference on the grid. Let's see if they can squeeze out even more speed.
Eddie G has positioned themselves well in 4th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. Currently in 6th, Joe Yu has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Jorg Yu has done a fantastic job to claim 6th. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Mr. Bang has secured a respectable 5th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance? Impressive display by Smells Like We, currently sitting in position 2. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Smells Like We has positioned themselves impressively in 2nd. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
And there goes Mr. Bang, currently in position 5. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. With Mr. Bang now sitting pretty in 3rd, they have got to be feeling good.
True, but in the world of racing, good isn't always good enough. They've got to keep their eye on the prize and aim for perfection on every turn. It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
Looks like Mr. Bang is making a statement, securing a spot in third.
Yep, Rob, but there's always room for improvement. Smooth, consistent laps might just be the key to climbing even higher before this session wraps up. Every fraction of a second counts. I am sure they can find a little extra in there.
What a performance from Sunoiler. They currently occupy 7th on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favorable starting spot?
Absolutely, Rob. Sunoiler has shown great potential to secure 7th. It's now a matter of channeling that momentum into a strong performance during the race.
It's about time Sunoiler considered a different approach. With a 2:00.719, they're stuck in 7th. Maybe a change in brake bias could give them more control in those hard braking zones.
That's a solid point, Rob. Better braking control means they can brake later and harder, making up precious time in the corners.
A solid performance from Mr. Bang as they currently hold position 3. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. Mr. Bang's current position of 3rd is a testament to their skill and determination. Now, they must stay sharp to make the most of this opportunity.
Incredible drive by Sunoiler so far, earning them 7th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up?
Absolutely, Rob. Sunoiler has put in a remarkable effort to secure 7th. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
A solid qualifying performance by Mr. Bang, positioning them in 3rd at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. Eddie G has put in a great effort and currently holds 5th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
You're absolutely right, Rob. Eddie's current position of 5th.
There's a real buzz in the air as Eddie G secures 5th.
Right you are, Rob. They've put themselves in a solid spot, but they can't let up now. Staying smooth and focused is key to shaving off those extra fractions. It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
Impressive work from Joe Erg-Yu, who has claimed 6th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
You're spot on, Rob. Erg-Yu's current position of 6th is a testament to their skills and determination. Now, they face the challenge of maintaining their position against hungry rivals.
It's an impressive showing by Megasaurus 55, currently in 4th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? Joe Yu has secured a respectable 6th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
I completely agree, Rob. Jorg Yu has positioned themselves impressively in 6th. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
A strong showing from Megasaurus 55 as they currently sit in 4th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. Impressive display by Smells Like We, currently sitting in position 2. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Smells Like We has done a fantastic job to claim 2nd. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
Currently in 2nd, Smells Like We has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Smells Like We has positioned themselves impressively in 2nd. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
Welcome to Great Britain, where we're racing on home turf today. The drivers are ready to tear up the track at Oulton Park, International 2022. Jack M team will have the best seat in the house starting from pole position.
But they can't count their chickens before they hatch. There is a long way to go.
As the drivers prepare to take off, Smells Like We sits in 2nd place on the starting grid.
Another good start for the English driver.
Taking off from the 3rd grid slot is the skilled driver, Mr. Bang. At 4th, we have the one and only Megasaurus 55. And in 5th place, we have Eddie G.
They are in a good place to mount a good challenge come the first corner.
Our 6th place starter, Joe Yu, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track. Sunoiler is 7th. Oi, lights are gone. Flat out like a lizard drinking, mate.
This here's a wild Bronco ride from the get-go. Those drivers best hang on tight, lest they get thrown into the dust.
You know, they say, steady as she goes, and that's exactly what Jack and Tim's doing. Holding on to one, maybe they've got a trick or two up their sleeve for later.
It's always intense racing here at Oulton Park. International 2022, hold on to your hats, folks.
The drivers are jockeying for position. Eddie G will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position.
What a beautiful day for racing here at Oulton Park. International 2022, this is going to be good to watch.
I can't wait to see how this race will play out.
You know, sometimes the best strategy is to hold your cards close to your chest. Mr. Bang's sitting right there at 3, just watching the field unfold.
The tension is palpable here. No one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap. Racing is normally closely fought here at Oulton Park, International 2022. I think we are in for a cracking race. Smells like we wants to find a way round Mr. Bang. Quiet, steady, reliable. That smells like me's game today. No drama, just some good old-fashioned racing.
That's the mark of a good driver. Smells like we is staying focused on their own race and not getting distracted.
Blimey, smells like we shifted gears and the results are clear. Cruising up to 4th just like that. Mr. Bang has the pedal to the metal, chasing smells like we. Cricky. Megasaurus 55 sticking to Jack M team like Vegemite on toast. This is more tense than a possum in headlights.
It's a game of strategy now as Megasaurus 55 hunts down Jack M team. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
Hollywood couldn't script this better. Mr. Bang's shadowing smells like we, waiting for the slightest misstep.
The rubber's burning, the crowd's yearning, and Mr. Bang's engine is churning to get past smells like we.
Ladies and gents, we've got ourselves a high-speed pursuit. Megasaurus 55 is stalking Jack M team's every move.
As we say in North Carolina, if the porch light's on, someone's home. And Megasaurus 55's making it known. He's right there, waiting to make his move on Jack M team.
It's going to be tough. Eddie G is a master at defending their position. Is there enough time for smells like we to make a move? They're going to be even more determined to hold on to that position.
Smells like we's trying to find that draft, get a slipstream going, but Eddie G is making them work for every inch.
Now isn't this a show? Smells like we's gotten the bit between their teeth, and they're reeling in Eddie G. Look at them weave and bob through Clay Hill, folks. Blimey, Megasaurus 55 veered off the track like I veer away from commitment. Maybe they'll come back, unlike my ex.
Well, shoot, Megasaurus 55's channeling me trying to park in the city. A complete disaster, but always a show.
Looks like Smells Like We is chasing Eddie G harder than a croc chasing a tourist who's lost their thongs. It's a bit of a long shot, but we all remember that one time at the pub, right? Looks like Eddie G is legging it from Smells Like We. Breaking update. Maybe Sunoiler's got a drop bear in the cockpit, cause that move was bonkers. By the looks of it, Megasaurus 55 in second is keen to throw another shrimp on the barbie and crank up the heat on Jack M Team. Hold on to your stubbies.
The gap is 0.4 seconds now. Megasaurus 55 is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Jack M Team.
It's game on now. Megasaurus 55 has closed the gap to Jack M Team. It's now down to 0.2 seconds. You can feel the focus radiating from Sunoiler, confidently holding onto the sixth. The gap between Sunoiler and Joe Erg is getting smaller. It's now down to 10.4 seconds.
Sunoiler better find a way to step on the gas, or else your U will be whizzing past before you can say, checkered flag.
Like a scene from a thriller, Megasaurus 55's on Jack M Team's tail, hungry for that spot. It seems like Megasaurus 55 is pushing. They are on for recording their best lap so far this race.
Can Megasaurus 55 keep it together?
It may seem like Megasaurus 55 is far behind, but Jack M Team can't afford to let their breaking news, folks. It looks like Megasaurus 55 has been called into the pits. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Smells like we will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. Breaking alert, Megasaurus 55 has decided to pit. The race is heating up as Smells Like We in third closes in on Eddie G. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they're going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight.
Dang, Smells Like We is so far back, they're in a different time zone. Hope they remember it's race day, not laundry day.
It seems like Smells Like We is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. The horizon that Megasaurus 55 peers towards is as enigmatic as the Uluru at dusk. Layers of stories and strategies are yet to unfold.
And over here, it feels like trying to read a story with half the pages missing. But stories have a way of coming full circle. Now, racing ain't just about speed. It's the rhythm, the heartbeats, the very folklore of our land. And every heartbeat, no matter how faint, can still muster a song.
Mate, Megasaurus 55's creeping up on Mr. Bang like a dingo on a picnic. Must have tweaked that brake bias a touch to the rear. Tell ya what, Smells Like We's got more guts than a croc in a boxing ring. Closing that gap and breathing down the neck of Eddie G. Hope Eddie G brought the aero guard, cause is about to get bitten.
The gap between them is just a
Braking alert, Eddie G is in the pits. Braking development, Eddie G has pulled into the pits. This is what racing is all about, folks. Three fearless drivers pushing their machines to the absolute limit, inches apart.
No doubt about it, Rob. The battle for that same piece of tarmac is intense. The sparks flying and the close quarters racing showcase the incredible skill and nerve of these drivers.
From the cockpit to the pit lane, the chatter is all about Jack M Team's masterful hold on the first.
You've nailed it. The track is a battleground, and Jack M Team's position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the fort.
You reckon Megasaurus 55 saw a spider in the cockpit? Cause they're running away from the front like it's Huntsman Central.
Sweet mercy. Megasaurus 55's lagging like my grandma's old computer. Might be time to reboot, or at least pour some coffee into the gas tank.
Megasaurus 55 is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Mr. Bang to 5.3 seconds.
Dang, Megasaurus 55's fuel strategy and conservation of those brakes is spot on. They're inching closer to Mr. Bang like a hound on a hot dog.
As vast as the azure stretches of the Great Barrier Reef, so does Mr. Bang's path ahead, filled with mystique and myriad challenges.
Kind of reminds me of fishing in the vast Carolina blue. A big catch might just be a castaway.
Sorry to interrupt here, but Mr. Bang is pitting. Incident alert, Mr. Bang has decided to pit. Not just about the leaders today, right? Even the tailenders. They're like hungry dingo pups fighting over a bone. Sorry to interrupt here, but it looks like Mr. Bang has been called into the pits. It's the classic cat and mouse game, but instead of cheese, the prize is a racing position. Can Mr. Bang steal it from Eddie G? Oof, if Megasaurus 55 was a kangaroo, they'd be roadkill by now. Come on, mate, put some pep in that step. Hal, what's the impact of tire degradation on race strategy? How does it affect a driver's approach to the race?
Tire degradation plays a crucial role in race strategy, Rob. Teams and drivers have to consider the optimal time to pit for fresh tires and adjust their race pace to balance speed with tire conservation. It adds another layer of complexity to the racing challenge.
Megasaurus 55's more lost out there than I was after a night at the Gold Coast. And at least I woke up with a kebab in hand. Sunoiler is placed 6th at the moment. Struth, Sunoiler's driving like they've stolen it, putting some serious distance between themselves and Joe Ergue. Is there anything left in Joe Ergue's tank? The gap between Joe Ergue in 7th and Sunoiler remains over a second, but Joe Ergue is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close the gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 6 minutes? It's as if Megasaurus 55 is navigating the vast cryptic verses of Banjo Patterson, aiming for a poetic conclusion but caught in the mesmerizing cadence.
Down here, it's like they're trying to strum a ballad with an out-of-tune banjo, but the last note can still ring true. Sometimes it's the tortoise that wins, not the hare. I've seen Megasaurus 55 come from behind more times than a fox in a henhouse.
With the asphalt burning beneath them, Sunoiler's strategy seems to be working, placing them in 6th.
You're right, every gear shift, every turn counts. Sunoiler knows the weight of that 6th.
Well, that was a proper Barbie flip by Eddie G. Too much snagger, not enough bun. In a race where seconds count, Megasaurus 55 is counting on less of them between themselves and smells like weed. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime. Great driving from Megasaurus 55, who has just gained a place and moved up to second. Joe Ergu's off the track. Reminds me of my first car, a real lemon. Drove straight but only in reverse. The gap might be more than a second, but Joe Ergu is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep it in, and something's got to give.
Lord have mercy. Jorg Hughes got more space between him and Sunoiler than my paw got between his ears. But miracles do happen. Just ask my ex-wife.
Blimey, Eddie G is farther back than my hairline. But, you know what they say about Aussies? Never say die. Unless it's a spider. Then just run.
I agree. Eddie G is putting in the effort. Sort of like me at karaoke night. Not sure about the results, but full points for enthusiasm.
The race has its rhythm, and right now, Megasaurus 55 is dancing to its beat at second. He can't hold on. Megasaurus 55 is losing time to Smells Like We.
They need to step up their game and start pulling away again.
Watching Eddie G try to close the gap on Mr. Bang is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes. Hold on a second, Jack M team is in the pits. It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Smells Like We trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Megasaurus 55. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Smells Like We close in enough to mount a challenge? Incident alert, Jack M team has pulled into the pits. I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Smells Like We and Megasaurus 55. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning.
Well, butter my biscuit. Smells Like We's hot on Megasaurus 55's tail, and not in the way you're thinking. There's some serious wooing going on at Oulton Park, International 2022 today.
Smells Like We is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 1.33 seconds down.
Can Smells Like We refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of?
Tell ya what, Eddie G is trailing like my mate Dave after a bender. Hope there's no random testing today. You'd think Smells Like We is trying to find water in the outback with that gap. A miracle, or Megasaurus 55's blunder, might be the only savior.
I reckon it's like looking for a needle in a haystack right now. Races are the ballads of the asphalt. They ebb, flow, and crescendo. And just when you think the melody's predictable, comes the surprise note.
Stone the crows. Smells Like We's off in the bush again. Someone get him a map and compass. If racing were a dance, Smells Like We would be trying to lead, but Mr. Bang just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up. Everyone's on the edge of their seats. Or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. Eddie G is getting closer to Smells Like We, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel. Eddie's been working the tie temps, and it's paying off. Grip's better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, Smells Like We.
This is what racing is all about. It's anyone's game at this point. Who will come out on top?
It's all systems go for Sunoiler, marking their territory in the 6th. Excellent work from Sunoiler, who has managed to increase their lead over Joe Ergu. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are grooving to it. But with every smooth turn, comes the risk of wrecking their car. Who will be the first to push it too far and crash out of the race?
That's right, Rob. These drivers are like musicians, finding their groove and playing their instruments to perfection. But just like in music, even the best players can hit a wrong note. Let's hope none of these drivers make any mistakes and end up singing the blues. It's really looking like Sunoiler is going to be tough to pass today. They're driving with real confidence and authority.
What a win! This is a historic moment for Jack M team, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision. Megasaurus 55 never gave up. They drove with heart and determination, ultimately securing a well-deserved second-place finish.
Impressive performance. They pushed themselves to the limit for a fantastic second-place finish.
Well done to Mr. Bang for securing third place on the podium.
What a drive. Well-deserved spot on the podium with that performance.
Coming in 4th, 5th, and 7th, we have Smells Like We, Eddie G, and Joe Yu. Finishing 6th is Sunoiler. Welcome to Great Britain, where the sun is shining and the engines are revving for today's race at Oulton Park, International 2022. Zhou Yu will lead the way from pole position.
But they can't let their guard down. The other drivers will be gunning for them.
Taking the second spot is Sunoiler. Starting just behind the front runners in third place is the determined driver, Eddie G. Smells Like We is holding down the fort in fourth place.
I think we are all looking forward to seeing what Smells Like We can do from here.
The fifth position belongs to Megasaurus 55.
Could we see a podium result from Megasaurus 55?
Lining up in sixth is Jack M Team.
We've not seen the best from Jack M Team yet.
Starting from pole position is the best possible outcome for Zhou Yu. With a spirited start, we've embarked on a journey. This initial lap requires equal parts guts and genius, lest they face the dire consequences of hubris.
It's pedal to the metal, but with finesse. It's a wild dance out there, and these drivers better be light on their feet or they'll find themselves out of step.
The stewards will be hoping that there aren't too many incidents for them to pick over when the dust settles on this one. Establishing an early advantage will be crucial to the outcome of this race.
The first lap can always be a bit of a bun fight as everyone tries to establish themselves. It's easy for inexperienced racers to blow it in T1.
Stone the crows. Megasaurus 55's taken off like a mad kookaburra. Reckon the others are wondering where that bolt came from.
I tell ya, that's the kind of move that'll turn heads. Let's hope they don't bite off more than they can chew.
Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position? There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start. If consistency was an art, Jack M Team would be Picasso today. Just churning out those laps, one after the other.
Consistency is key in racing. Jack M team just needs to keep doing what they're doing and wait for opportunities to present themselves.
You know, it's like watching a Kelpie herd sheep. Smells like we's making sure Jack M team stays right where they want them. No room for a sneaky pass here.
Now, that's some good old defensive driving from Smells Like We. Holding their line, keeping that rear view filled up with intimidation.
Excellent work from Smells Like We, who has managed to increase their lead over Jack M team. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are grooving to it.
Smells Like We's stronger out there than a bowl of North Carolina chili. They're not giving Jack M team a sliver of a chance to catch up.
Blimey, Jack M team's more eager to catch Smells Like We than a bloke at the bar at last call. Hope he's got the stamina for this chase.
Now, ain't that something? Jack M team's car is humming like a sweet Carolina tune. He's looking to take Smells Like We for a spin around the dance floor of Oulton Park, International 2022.
Good news for Jack M team, the gap to Smells Like We has decreased. It's now down to 0.3 seconds.
This here's where the steel meets the pavement. Both drivers got to keep their cool if they're looking to take the checkered flag.
Well, ain't this a ding-dong battle? Eddie G is putting up the barriers like I do when my mates want to borrow the ute. No way through, Jack M team. A commanding performance from Eddie G, who has increased their lead over Jack M team, putting them firmly in their rearview mirrors. But could they be pushing too hard? As with that comes the risk of overconfidence and losing control. Who will be the first to get too cocky and end up in the wall?
It's clear as day that Eddie G is holding all the cards. They're making it near impossible for Jack M team to close that gap.
In your experience, Hal, what was the most important aspect of managing tire degradation during a race?
The most important aspect, Rob, was maintaining a good balance between pushing hard and conserving tires. Finding the sweet spot between aggression and tire preservation was key to optimizing race pace and strategy.
Looks like we might have a great battle starting here between Eddie G in second and Jack M team. It's been tense with a gap of only 0.6 seconds.
It's not over yet. Jack M team is right on Eddie.
Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Oh, smells like we went off track. I know the feeling, just like my diet every weekend.
Dang. Smells like we was riding hot, but that slip out. That's like tripping over your own shoelaces at the county fair.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
In this high-speed game of chess, it's all about strategy. Who will make the next move?
Oh, this is getting intense. Eddie G is just behind Smells Like We.
That's right. Eddie G is determined to pass Smells Like We and secure a higher position.
As they speed through Hilltop, Jack M team is relentlessly pursuing Eddie G in a high-stakes battle for position.
The only thing closer than Jack M team to Eddie G right now is the paint on their cars. Talk about a close encounter.
Jack M team and Eddie G have a gap between them that's growing like Jack's beanstalk. We're talking 0.4 seconds now. I love being here at Oulton Park, International 2022. What an awesome place to be witnessing these titans of the track battle it out.
Indeed, Rob, what a magnificent sight and sound. I love listening to the roar.
Great melee. Someone should tell Eddie G this ain't a Sunday drive. Jack M team's tearing up the track. Eddie's on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Jack M team like a dingo after a roadrunner. Did you ever think about the physics at play here? The G-forces these drivers feel, especially during tight corners. It's mind-boggling.
Absolutely, Rob. And it's not just the car's engineering, but the human body's resilience and adaptability. The way these drivers train to withstand and use those forces to their advantage. It's an art form combined with sheer grit.
Oh, the chase is on. Jack M team's breathing down the neck of Smells Like We.
With just 0.5 seconds between them, will Jack M team be able to keep up the pace and make a pass?
So, when you were racing, ever have to do the old nature call dash during a red flag?
Haha, you mean a pit stop for the driver?
Sorry to interrupt here, but bloody hell. Mr. Bang just took a quick detour to the outback. Maybe they saw a kangaroo on the track or something. Jack M team's in an exciting position at second. They've been maintaining pace for a few laps now, and with the leader just within a whisper's distance, things are heating up.
Absolutely. I think you would say it's tighter than a kangaroo in a sleeping bag up there. But yet every little decision now is crucial. One slip from the leader and our champ in second might just steal that top spot.
Hold on to your hats. Megasaurus 55 is gunning for Eddie G. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend?
They say rubbing is racing, but if Megasaurus 55 gets too close, they might end up trading carbon fiber souvenirs instead of positions.
Sorry to interrupt here, but Mr. Bang is pitting. It looks like Megasaurus 55 is all over Eddie G. I think they're gonna press him through Island Bend and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, Rob, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as Eddie G is going to be aware of them riding their bumper.
With that gap, Megasaurus 55's practically drafting off Eddie G, eh?
Exactly. They're so close, it's like they're sharing the same...
Wait, blimey. Eddie G must have spotted a pub off the track. That's the only reason any self-respecting Aussie would swerve that way. Strike a light. Megasaurus 55 is throwing out numbers like they're buying rounds at the pub. Jack M team, did that sting a bit? One thing I admire about Assetto Corsa Friends is the sense of community. It's not just about the competition. It's about coming together, sharing knowledge, and pushing the boundaries of the sport.
You nailed it. Every time they hit the track, it's a culmination of shared experiences, lessons learned, and an undying passion for the sport. It's heartwarming and exhilarating all.
Breaking news, folks. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Megasaurus 55 for nabbing second. It looks like Smells Like We has been called into the pits. You ever see a croc stalking its prey? That's the energy Megasaurus 55's bringing right now. Ready to strike when the moment's right.
Kinda reminds me of a linebacker waiting for that perfect moment to make a game-changing tackle.
Breaking update. Smells Like We is in the pits. Jack M team is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. The tension between Jack M team and Megasaurus 55 is palpable as they battle for P1. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind? Even I'm not that self-sabotaging. Struth. That lap by Sunoiler was quicker than a Roo with its tail on fire. Someone's been sipping the good stuff.
If Sunoiler's lap was any hotter, we'd need to call the fire department. Reminds me of my barbecue mishap last 4th of July.
It's looking good for Megasaurus 55, sitting in first. Incredible. Sunoiler is caught in a fierce battle, with breathing down their neck 0.1 seconds away, and Joerg Yu just ahead with a gap of 0.1 seconds. It's a test of their racing skills. In breaking news, folks, Jack M team has decided to pit. With every twist and turn, Sunoiler is shadowing Joerg Yu, waiting to pounce like a lion. Breaking alert. Just like my hope in finding the one, Megasaurus 55's direction seems a bit lost right now.
Did the wind contribute to that? It's blowing at 10 kph out there right now.
Good on ya, Sunoiler. Not letting Joerg Yu get too comfy up front. Reckon he's planning a bit of a "g'day mate" on the next corner? The best laid plans of mice and men, haha, but it's certainly not going to plan for Smells Like We right now, as they are struggling to keep up with Eddie G. In the midst of this high-octane spectacle, Megasaurus 55's skill is shining through as they claim first. Megasaurus 55 has pulled into the pits. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
It's going to be a close one. Sunoiler will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
Breaking update. It looks like Megasaurus 55 has been called into the pits. The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? Hold your breath, folks. Sunoiler is sandwiched between two relentless competitors, 0.1 seconds behind and Joerg Yu 0.2 seconds ahead. They're fighting tooth and nail for every position. Things are heating up as Eddie G tries to close the gap to Smells Like We.
It's like watching a hawk circling its prey, waiting for the right moment to swoop.
Crikey, Eddie G is losing touch with Smells Like We quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Why did the race car go to school? To improve its track record.
And I thought it was to accelerate its learning.
Megasaurus 55's playing hard to get, eh? If they drop the pace anymore, they'll be in reverse. But crikey, Eddie's just raring to go. Wait, well, Sunoiler's decided to give the local wildlife a closer look. I hope the drop bears didn't get to them.
Dang, Sunoiler went off like my sense of self-worth after my high school reunion. And just as hard to recover.
Joerg Yu is owning the tarmac, confidently owning the 6th spot. Seems like Megasaurus 55 is getting in range of Eddie G. Breaking update. Whoops. Joerg Yu's taken more spins than a dead or alive record. It seems like Megasaurus 55 is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. The echo of the exhausts, the rubber meeting road, and there's Joerg Yu, commanding the 6th. Megasaurus 55 is flat out like a lizard drinking, gnawing into the gap to Eddie G down to a scant 0.1 seconds.
Now this is what I call some high-octane excitement. Both drivers pedal down, looking to grab the brass ring.
A great pass for Megasaurus 55 as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Eddie G has lost ground. This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Sunoiler zeroes in on Joe Ergue, blade sharpened and ready.
Looks like Sunoiler has got more moves than a cowboy in a honky-tonk bar. You better watch out or he'll be two-step right off the track.
It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Sunoiler gaining places and Joe Ergue losing them.
Definitely, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and anything can happen. Sunoiler needs to keep driving with focus and intensity.
Stone the Crows. Sunoilers pulled a sneaky, landing at 7th. Always a surprise with them.
Yes, but there's still plenty of race left. Sunoiler needs to stay calm and focused, and make their move when the time is right.
Things are getting spicy as Joe Ergue is breathing down Sunoiler's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
Well, isn't this a showdown? Ergue's right on the tail of Sunoiler. Eyes peeled as they approach Lakeside, folks.
The pressure is on for Joe Ergue, truck between 0.1 seconds away and Sunoiler just ahead with a gap of 0.2 seconds. They must defend their position while seeking an opportunity to advance. Speaking of gambles, mate, what's your take on these mid-race fuel stop strategies? I reckon it's like deciding when to throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Timing is everything, like deciding when to pull out the moonshine at a family reunion. Wait too long, and you'll miss the party.
Would y'all look at that gap? Megasaurus 55's got a better chance of finding a sober Aussie on Australia Day. But hey, we love an underdog. Go get them, Tiger.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with Megasaurus 55 in second determined to catch up. But we know Smells Like We isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. Megasaurus 55 is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
By the looks of it, Megasaurus 55's got Eddie G beat by a country mile. It'd take a blunder from Megasaurus 55 for our mate to even sniff a chance.
Kinda like waiting on rain during a Carolina summer, rare but not impossible. Lukey here, I've seen some wild turns in my time, and just when you think it's all said and done, old Lady Luck might just wink your way. So don't count out Eddie G just yet.
Wow, Smells Like We is really pushing hard in these final moments of the race.
It takes a special kind of driver.
The leader has just finished the race. A fantastic result for Smells Like We. What a fantastic race from Megasaurus 55, who brings it home in second place. That was an outstanding performance from Eddie G. They fought hard and took the final spot on the podium. Taking fourth is Jack M Team. Mr. Bang brings home fifth. Followed by Sunoiler in sixth. Seventh sees Joe Ergue.